Most men never realize that the very thing they do in silence, believing it will help them last longer, is the same habit slowly stealing their confidence, their control, and their peace of mind. This is not about weakness, age, or masculinity, and it is not a curse you are born with. It is about a mistake repeated so often that it becomes invisible, a mistake passed from fear to fear, advice to advice, and search to search. When a man struggles with premature ejaculation, his first instinct is to rush toward quick fixes, forceful techniques, numbing tricks, or endless comparisons with others. He tells himself that more effort, more tension, and more pressure will finally solve the problem. But the body does not respond to force the way the mind expects it to. The nervous system listens to signals, not wishes, and the signals many men send are filled with urgency, anxiety, and control-seeking. Over time, this teaches the body to react faster, not slower, and the cycle quietly tightens. Dr. Mohit Khera often emphasizes that sexual health is deeply connected to mental patterns, breathing, and awareness, not just physical actions. Yet many men ignore this truth because it feels too simple, too subtle, or too slow. They believe the solution must be dramatic to be effective. They start monitoring every sensation, clenching muscles, holding breath, and chasing an imaginary finish line where relief finally arrives. Instead of learning control, they train their body to panic at the first sign of arousal. Confidence begins to erode, not only in the bedroom, but in daily life, because the mind associates intimacy with failure before it even begins. This is where the real damage happens, long before any physical response. What most men do not see is that this mistake creates a constant state of performance pressure, and pressure is the enemy of endurance. The more you fight your body, the faster it tries to escape the fight. The more you fear losing control, the more control slips away. This is not punishment. It is biology responding exactly as it was designed to respond under stress. The tragedy is that men blame themselves instead of the habit that trained this response. They search for stronger methods, harsher routines, and louder promises, unaware that the root problem is growing deeper. Right here, in this uncomfortable realization, a question begins to form. And it is the question that changes everything. What if the problem is not a lack of effort, but the wrong direction entirely? This moment is where awareness starts, because awareness removes blame and replaces it with responsibility, patience, and hope. When a man understands that his habits shape his outcomes, he regains power without aggression, strength without force, and confidence without pretending. That understanding is the doorway to change. It does not arrive overnight, but it begins the instant truth is accepted. And that instant matters more than any shortcut ever promised, because it lasts when pressure fades away slowly. As the journey continues, a deeper layer of truth begins to emerge. And it is often the part men resist the most, because it challenges everything they previously believed about control. Many assume that lasting longer is simply about delaying sensation. Yet the science reveals something far more complex and surprisingly empowering. The brain and body operate as a single system, constantly exchanging signals through breath, tension, and expectation. And when those signals are rushed or fearful, the body learns to finish the process quickly as a form of protection. This is why repeated attempts to force endurance often backfire, creating a pattern where the nervous system becomes hypersensitive rather than stable. Dr. Mohit Khera has often highlighted that real improvement begins when men stop treating intimacy like a race against time and start viewing it as a skill built through awareness. However, this is also the moment where suspense quietly builds, because many men reach a crossroads they never anticipated. They begin to notice that the strategies they trusted for years might actually be reinforcing the problem, and this realization can feel uncomfortable, even unsettling. It raises a silent question that lingers in the mind. If everything done so far has been moving in the wrong direction, what else might need to change? This uncertainty creates tension, but it also opens the door to transformation. Instead of focusing on suppression, the body responds better to rhythm, relaxation, and gradual conditioning, where arousal rises and falls naturally rather than being forced into extremes. The surprising part is that progress often starts when a man stops trying to win every moment and instead learns to observe it without judgment. This shift reduces the pressure that fuels rapid response, allowing the nervous system to reset in small but meaningful ways. Many men overlook the role of breathing patterns, posture, and mental focus, yet these subtle elements send powerful signals that influence timing and control. The mistake that once felt invisible begins to lose its power when awareness replaces urgency. Still, there is a phase where results may seem slow, and this is where doubt tries to return. The mind searches for quick proof, wondering if patience will truly pay off, and this internal struggle becomes the quiet test that separates temporary change from lasting growth. During this stage, consistency matters more than perfection, because the body learns through repetition rather than sudden breakthroughs. Confidence starts to rebuild, not from unrealistic expectations, but from small moments of progress that accumulate over time. As understanding deepens, men begin to realize that control is not something seized in a single dramatic effort, but something cultivated through calm repetition and self-respect. The suspense lies in recognizing that the solution has been present all along, hidden beneath layers of misinformation and pressure. When that recognition settles in, a new sense of possibility emerges, one that feels steady rather than rushed, grounded rather than desperate, and quietly powerful in ways that no quick fix could ever deliver. The final step in this journey is not about becoming someone new, but about reconnecting with the version of yourself that already understands patience, balance, and self-control beyond fear. As awareness grows, many men begin to notice that improvement is not just physical. It spreads into confidence, communication, and the way they carry themselves in everyday life. What once felt like a private struggle transforms into an opportunity for discipline and growth, because the same principles that restore control in intimacy also strengthen focus, emotional stability, and resilience. Dr. Mohit Khera often reminds men that progress comes from respecting the body instead of battling it, and this philosophy becomes clearer when you realize how small, consistent habits shape long-term results. Rather than chasing perfection, the goal becomes building a rhythm that feels natural and sustainable, where each moment is approached with calm curiosity instead of pressure. This mindset shifts the entire experience from performance to presence, allowing confidence to grow quietly without needing constant validation. There may still be days when doubt appears, whispering that change is too slow or that old patterns will return. Yet those moments are simply reminders of how far you have already come. Growth rarely feels dramatic while it is happening. It reveals itself gradually through subtle differences in how you breathe, think, and respond. Over time, the nervous system learns safety instead of urgency, and this new pattern begins to replace the old automatic reactions that once felt impossible to control. The most powerful realization is that mastery is not a finish line, but a continuous process of awareness, where each step forward strengthens trust in yourself. Instead of focusing on what went wrong in the past, attention shifts toward what can be built now, one mindful decision at a time. When a man embraces this approach, he stops searching for instant solutions and starts creating lasting transformation through knowledge and patience. The journey becomes less about fixing a flaw and more about unlocking potential that was always present beneath layers of stress and misunderstanding. As confidence grows, relationships benefit from a deeper sense of connection, honesty, and emotional presence, proving that true control is not about suppression, but about understanding. This perspective turns a once frustrating challenge into a powerful teacher, guiding men towards self-respect and inner stability that extends far beyond the bedroom. By choosing awareness over fear and consistency over shortcuts, you begin to shape a future where progress feels steady and meaningful rather than rushed or forced. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.